Hey guys, Cal here with Core Nutrients. Welcome back to part 2 of our videos about soil. In this video we will be talking about the difference between a chemical and a soluble soil test, and why we offer both when considering our client's soil fertility. Let's go! So let's start with the basics. What is a soil test? Well, generally when we acquire a new client, we like to get familiar with the fertility of their soil. And we do this by going around the property and probing small samples out of the ground at various spots to get a nice average, also usually at different depths depending on the target plant's root zone. Then, we carefully package it up and send it to Harris Labs in Nebraska, where the brilliant staff there provide us with an array of test results, which we then analyze and provide a detailed report back to the client. So let's take a look at our first example, the chemical test. This test measures the content of the soil. It's the most common test you'll probably come across, as it has become somewhat of an industry standard when determining soil fertility. The chemical test will help identify the following conditions of your soil. pH, and remember what we said in our last video about how pH can affect nutrient availability. CEC, or cation exchange capacity, is basically this determines how well your soil holds onto nutrients, and for us it acts as a guide for determining the target ranges of nutrients in parts per million. Next we have organic matter. This is a measurement of biomaterials in the soil. It helps determine how well the soil retains water, as well as metabolizes nutrients in the soil to help them become available to the plant. Base saturations. This goes hand in hand with CEC. There's way more to discuss than we have time for in this video, but we will most likely be doing a video specifically dedicated to CEC and base saturations in the future, so stay tuned for that. This test will also provide the breakdown of all the essential nutrients in parts per million that are in the soil. When we talk about nutrient content in the soil, this is what we're talking about. It literally shows you exactly how much of every nutrient is currently residing in the soil at the time of the test. And then you have your calcium-magnesium ratio, which is going to be important once we start talking about the relationship between these nutrients in the soil and their effects on one another. Now, let's take a look at the soluble test we offer and why it works best when used in conjunction with the standard chemical test. Remember what we said in our last video about nutrients needing to be in solution for them to be taken up by the plant. Well, our soluble extraction, or PACE test, will measure the availability of nutrients once they are in solution. The lab accomplishes this by mixing water with the soil provided by our samples to create a measurable solution. Let's take a look closer. So as you can see, this test measures the salinity values of the solution, meaning what the plant can actually extract from the soil when taking up water. So when we take this information and compare it to the chemical test, you can see some of the information varies between the two, such as the case with this particular fairway's measurement of boron. Now this can be attributed primarily to the CEC and base saturations, but can also be affected by several other variables such as excess of certain nutrients or poor pH ranges, etc., etc. All of this, of course, brings us back to our golden rule, which is simply, I cannot stress this enough, it's just because there are nutrients in the soil doesn't mean they are getting into the plant. This is why we offer both tests. One tells you what is in the soil, the other one tells you what is available to the plant because of what is in the soil. By providing these two tests together, we can get a more accurate evaluation of your soil's fertility. So there you have it, our basic soil sample process in a nutshell. As usual, I have provided some additional info on soil sampling in the description of the video, so please feel free to check that out, as well as our website at www.core-nutrients.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.